Yeah, Big JTV, man. Let's talk about it. Man. Y'all saw the videos to start this video. Shout out to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Matter of fact, maybe I didn't start the videos, but I might put them. Actually, I probably will put them on the back end here. If y'all don't understand the context of this is Stephen A. Smith going on Carmelo Anthony's podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, which is actually a pretty good podcast. And the context of this is that they asked him about his problem with LeBron because they know the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn people, especially Melo, they know this is going to get clicks and this is going to go viral. And guess what? They were correct because it did. And Stephen A. went on a long diatribe about LeBron. I'm not going to play the full thing, but I'm going to play bits and pieces consecutively. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to give y'all some of my context and reaction right after. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Appreciate y'all for the time. Shout out to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Let's go.
Let me get to LeBron. I don't like his not a little bit. You do not understand the links this man would go to. This dates back more than a decade. I believe he's one way publicly, he's another way privately. You know, he might not be interviewed and he might not be quoted, but the things he says and the things he has said to people, it's gotten back to me. The things that he's tried to do, if it were up to him, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's some low. The day that he rolled up on me courtside, it was the day my contract was announced, that I had stayed with ESPN. Go back and look at the camera angles. I arrived there in the first quarter. He rolled up on me in the third quarter. This is 2025. We got technology everywhere. TNT is a nationally televised game. How is it we got one angle and the only angle you see was of him and his face, but you see the back of my peanut head? I know this, but I know a thing or two about camera angles. I determine them half the time.
Yep.
Do this angle, do that angle. This is my business.
I ask you straight up, do you think you felt set up in that moment?
Damn right I did.
You thought he had somebody out there too?
Damn right that did.
Okay.
Damn right. That's how I feel.
Okay.
But no big deal. No problem. Because I go on the air the next day and I'm like, that's a dad reacting to his son. Happens on a Thursday. That's a Friday. That's Saturday. Richard Jefferson is doing the game in Boston. He's still mic'd. He's working for ESPN. And we see LeBron say to him, yo, man, when he said, as a father, I had it. So I'm thinking, oh, that's not about Bronny. That's about you. Okay, let's talk about you as a father from this perspective. Oh, he ends up getting drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. Congratulations, no problem. Oh, he ends up being there opening night, that father-son moment with Ken Griffey and Jr. and Sr. in attendance. I was there at the game, standing up, clapping, no problem. It became a problem when this brother was in the G League, and then the next day, J.J. Redick decides to bring him in the first quarter and ask him to guard Tyrese Maxey. If you could literally feel or see somebody drooling at the mouth, give me the ball. That was Tyrese Maxey. It was a nightmare. And I'm like, you can't do that to him. But you also can't do that to us. We're the media. Now you asking us not to cover the game. The last straw was not him rolling up on me on courtside. If you sat up there and said, yo, LeBron pissed off, he needs to talk to you man to man, and I was in New York, what would I do? I'd be on the next plane to LA. And then you gonna turn around and come on ESPN with Pat McAfee? You gonna come on my channel on a show that comes on after me just to dog me? Nah. And what you dogging me about? Be a man. Yo, I don't like him either. Cool. Nah, I have to protect my family. That's the narrative you playing? Yo, bro, when I tell y'all, you can't measure the level of how pissed off I have been over that. There is no level of disrespect that has ever been accorded to me in my life more so than what he did. To try to paint me as somebody who would attack somebody's family, knowing I've never done it, I can't tell you how offensive I find that.
Goddamn. Now, if there's one thing that Stephen A. can do, he can yap. This Queens native New Yorker can yap. And it's kind of funny how when he goes on podcasts, he goes in this casual look, quote unquote. Dude is wearing a hoodie, he's wearing buffs, he's wearing a hood, he's out there just trying to be in this casual-ish, right? Because he understands the power that he has. And when I say power, his voice rings loud. And not because he literally is physically loud and be screaming, aka Screaming A. Smith. His voice has motion. Let's not pretend it doesn't. People don't like Stephen A. And for me, I'm on the camp that I'm indifferent. But I think he's fake as hell. He's fake as hell. Right? And the thing about him is he's one way in different contexts, and he's more of a chameleon. I would go as far as say he's a grifter. He's doing anything and everything for the dollar. Anything and everything for a dollar. And you know why? I know why. Because he was very broke. And he was very, very impoverished. So him going back to that level is why he is a chameleon and tries to fit in and box into whatever angle and flex he can get into. What does that have to do with LeBron? It has everything to do with LeBron. Now, these days, it's become viral and encouraged within the media for them to go at LeBron. Right? But there was a time where I'm not saying necessarily protected LeBron, but there was a time, for a very long time, where Stephen A. was very complimentary, supportive, and actually praised LeBron in a lot of ways, right? But now, in recent years, since it's become quote-unquote cool to poop all over LeBron, right? Now, he's seeing an opening. Do you know how many channels are out there dedicated on SHIT and on LeBron James? And guess what? This is not new. This is not new at all because it's happened so many times, right? Let me tell you something, man. Before Kobe passed away, rest in peace, Kobe, there was a ton of people who went in on Kobe, man. I know we want to deify Kobe and make him look like the second coming of Jesus Christ, but there was a point in time, trust me, within those last few Laker years where he was getting injured a lot, where he was considered toxic towards the younger players. Yeah, Nick Young. Yeah, you all remember that time? Julius Randle. I'm talking about a time right before Kobe retired where his contract was looked at as one of the worst contracts in the NBA because he was an aging old superstar and he was taking up a ton of the salary cap, so the Lakers were not able to get any talent around him. And a lot of the times Kobe was injured. So pundits were going in on Kobe, man. They were going in. And let me tell you this. Stephen A. made his bones and his noise and his career working as a Philadelphia sports columnist, right? And he even admitted many times that because of his criticisms towards Allen Iverson, he had a long-standing beef with AI. See, it pays for them to hate, man. The hate is what gets them paid. So him going on a podcast tour, and it is a tour, let's be real, it's a tour. He went on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. He went on Ryan Clark's The Pivot. Just going in on LeBron. And trust me, he's going to do this all season. This is not the end. This is a warm-up. This is the preseason of hating. And this is the problem, man. You can have valid criticism. Actually, you should. That's your job. You're a sports commentator, right? But when that sports commentary drives into deep hatred and personal, that's where you lose your credibility, man. That's where you lose your objectivity, man. You say proudly on a huge platform, Carmelo's Anthony, 7 p.m., you hate his ass, and you're going viral for that? Get the hell out of here, Stephen A. What a clown. Big JTV, y'all get in the comments. Let me know y'all thoughts, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. What a clown. Clown world, man. Get in the comments. Let me know y'all thoughts. I'm out, G.